The question that changed everything. Imagine a world where every journey is measured by pain in your feet. No engines. No wheels. No shortcuts. Just endless walking through heat, mud, and danger. One day, somewhere in ancient history, a human stopped, looked at the ground, and asked a dangerous question: what if I didn't have to walk? That single thought would eventually change the world forever. Life before vehicles. For early humans, movement was survival. They walked to hunt, walked to trade, and walked to escape danger. Every possession was carried on backs, dragged across dirt, or pushed with brute strength. Distance was the enemy. The farther something was, the less likely you would ever see it. Entire worlds existed beyond walking reach, and humans were trapped inside invisible borders. The burden of carrying. As societies grew, humans wanted more food, more tools, more connection. But carrying heavy loads was exhausting and slow. Even animals like horses and donkeys could only do so much. People noticed something curious: rolling objects were easier to move than dragging them. A log under a heavy stone made it glide instead of scrape. This was not invention yet, but it was observation. The silent birth of the wheel. No one knows the name of the first person to shape a wheel. No applause followed. No history book recorded the moment. But around 3500 BCE, in ancient Mesopotamia, humans did something revolutionary. They carved a solid wooden disc, placed it under a platform, and watched weight move with surprising ease. The wheel wasn't born for speed. It was born to reduce suffering. From sledges to rolling platforms. Early vehicles weren't sleek or fast. They were heavy wooden carts pulled by oxen, creaking as they moved across rough ground. Roads didn't exist yet. Every journey was a test of patience. But for the first time in human history, people could move more than they could carry. Trade expanded. Villages connected. The world quietly began to shrink. The invention of the vehicle did not explode across the world overnight. Some civilizations ignored wheels entirely, choosing boats or animals instead. Others struggled because their terrain didn't allow rolling travel. Yet where wheels worked, progress followed. Movement meant power. Power meant growth. And growth meant the future was no longer limited by human legs alone. But this was only the beginning. The first vehicles were slow, fragile, and dependent on muscle, human or animal. The real transformation would come when humans discovered a way to make vehicles move on their own. Fire, steam, and engines were waiting. And when they arrived, nothing would ever be the same again. For thousands of years after the first carts appeared, vehicles did not truly change. Wheels rolled, animals pulled, and humans still depended on muscle, human or animal, to move forward. Journeys were slow, unpredictable, and exhausting. Yet something had changed forever. Humans now believed movement could be improved. The wheel had planted a dangerous idea, that motion itself could be engineered. Animals tired. Humans aged. Long-distance travel remained expensive and difficult. Empires expanded faster than their transportation systems could support. Goods spoiled before reaching markets. Armies arrived late. The world was growing, but vehicles were not keeping up. This tension pushed inventors to search for a force stronger than muscle, something that would never tire. Fire had already changed how humans cooked, survived, and shaped metal. Eventually, someone realized fire could do more than heat, it could push. When water was heated and turned to steam, it expanded violently. Early experiments were dangerous and inefficient, but they revealed something extraordinary. Steam could move parts, turn wheels, and generate continuous force without rest. The age of steam. In the 18th century, steam engines finally became reliable. At first, they were massive and clumsy, used in mines and factories. Then came a bold idea: what if this moving power could be placed on wheels? Early steam vehicles were loud, slow, and frightening. They hissed, shook, and broke down often. But they moved on their own. For the first time in history, a vehicle no longer needed an animal to pull it. Roads begin to matter. As self-moving vehicles appeared, roads could no longer remain rough paths. Governments began building flatter, stronger routes. Travel times shortened. Trade expanded beyond regions. People started planning journeys not by days or weeks, but by hours. Distance, once feared, became manageable. The birth of the automobile. Steam was powerful but imperfect. Then came internal combustion, small explosions controlled inside metal chambers. Engines became lighter, faster, and easier to control. By the late 19th century, vehicles powered by gasoline emerged. They were no longer experiments, they were products. The automobile was born, not as a luxury, but as a solution to movement. Movement becomes personal. Unlike carts or trains, automobiles belong to individuals. People could choose where to go, when to leave, and how fast to travel. Cities expanded outward. Rural life changed. Roads filled with machines instead of animals. The vehicle was no longer just transportation, it was freedom, identity, and power. When the world started moving too fast, speed reshaped society. As engines improved, speed increased. Vehicles became faster than horses, faster than human reaction time. Highways replaced dirt roads. Travel that once took weeks now took hours. The world felt smaller, but also louder, faster, and more dangerous. Accidents, pollution, and congestion became new problems born from progress. The idea of the vehicle did not stop on land. Wheels inspired propellers. Engines powered ships, trains, and eventually aircraft. Humans left the ground entirely. The same curiosity that asked, "What if I didn't have to walk?" now asked, "What if I didn't have to touch the earth at all?" Today, vehicles think. Sensors see better than human eyes. Engines run on electricity instead of fire. Some vehicles drive themselves. Yet beneath all this complexity lies the same ancient logic, a desire to move farther, faster, and easier than before. The wheel still turns. The question still evolves. The true invention was not the vehicle. The greatest invention was not the wheel, the engine, or the car. It was the human refusal to accept limits. Every vehicle ever built began as a moment of frustration, tired feet, heavy loads, wasted time. Transportation did not change humanity. Humanity changed transportation. Somewhere in the distant past, a human stopped walking and imagined something better. That simple moment of frustration gave birth to the wheel, the engine, and every vehicle that followed. Today, machines cross oceans, race through cities, and rise into the sky. And tomorrow, they will go even farther, because as long as humans exist, the desire to move beyond limits will never disappear.